Culture, the podcast for founders and startup leaders who understand that building a business may be hard, but building a team, now that's where things get tricky. I'm Romaine, right? Founder of Just Right Consulting LLC and creator of Thrive or Derive. In every episode, I take one real team issue, break down the behaviors driving it, and provide strategies on how to fix it. Welcome to the show. This episode is called I Feel Like I Have to Do Everything Myself. Now, as a founder, I have absolutely felt this way. And as any kind of leader, you, I'm sure, have felt this way before. But I still want to set the stage and give you a picture. So imagine this. It's midnight during launch week, and a founder is hunched over her laptop, rewriting copy, chasing down team members, and double and triple checking her timelines. She hasn't had a real meal with her family in 2 weeks, and she's exhausted and frustrated and anxious. And underneath all of that, she's just scared. Scared that if she lets up just even a little bit, something's going to fall apart. Now, as she's thinking about this, she's realizing that even though she's not a control freak, every time she delegates tasks to her team, it feels like just comes back to her anyway. And so now that she's thinking about solutions, she's realizing that she may actually be a big part of the problem herself. Now, as I said, you've probably experienced this. I've definitely experienced this. I've actually been on both sides. I've been the leader feeling like I'm carrying the team, and also on the team feeling like my leader, my manager, supervisors, just all in the way, right? So if you have been in any kind of leadership role, even think back to like college and high school where we got those dreaded group projects where someone is carrying the load. I know that you can probably relate to this, and that is why I want to talk about it. It's really become a common experience for so many of us. So this is what we're talking about today. So what's the challenge here? What is it really that's going on? Like I said, when you're a leader feeling like you're carrying the load of the team, it feels like they're not showing up. They're underperforming, they're not following through, they're slacking, and you have to do it all. So it looks like your team's underperforming, and you end up treating it like a performance issue, when really at the heart, this isn't a performance issue. It's not about their inability or disinterest in actually doing the work. You should know you hired them, right? Typically, you're the one who's done the interviews. You've been involved in bringing them onto the team. So you know they can do it. Why are they not doing it? Let's talk about that. Let's look at what's really going on behind the scenes. What's the behavior driving this problem for your team? So what looks like, or to you as the leader, as the founder, what looks like underperformance or your team not following through is actually a form of micromanagement. Yes, I know that's a word that you probably don't want to associate it with you. I'm not a micromanager, Romaine. You may not be. But this is what I've come to call reactive micromanagement. So it doesn't mean you're always a micromanager or that's the way that you lead. What it means is during high stakes, high pressure situations, you may get involved more than you normally would. So you're jumping in, you're helping out, you're following up, and you're getting too close to the work in response to the pressure that you're feeling and the urgency that you're feeling about the situation that you're in. In the example I gave, it was launch week. So this founder is feeling the pressure of rolling out programs and fearing that something's going to go wrong if they back out. So here's what this could look like. Maybe you're asking to be CC'd on every single email. That's a lot. Maybe you're asking for updates every day, multiple times a day, even before your team has had a chance to actually do the work. That's a lot. Maybe you're rewriting their work, going behind them, triple checking it, editing it, and before they can actually send it out or move forward. That's a lot. And so every time that you're checking in to just help, what you're actually doing is micromanaging them because you're feeling the pressure of this kind of high stakes situation. And ultimately, over time, what you're doing is teaching them or sending the message that you don't trust them to do the work you've hired them to do. So this is a trust issue, really, is what it comes down to. Your ability to back away and give them the space, trust them enough to do the work. When you don't do that, you continue to engage in this reactive micromanagement cycle, right? You feel the pressure, so you get really involved. What ends up happening is over time, you're teaching them to depend on you. And so they don't take action until they get your feedback, until they get your approval, until they get your input. And before long, you're the only one that knows how to do anything right. If this resonates with you, jump in the comments now and let me know how you're feeling about this as we transition to talking about how do we fix it, right? We've talked about the challenge. We've talked about the behavior, reactive micromanagement. Now let's talk about the reset strategy. What do we do to get us out of this cycle of jumping in because we feel pressure to move forward, we feel pressure to perform? It's going to sound very simple, but it's very real. And it is delegation, delegating ownership and not just tasks. So what that means is your role when you fully delegate. So not just send this email to the client, but write the email to the client because you're the account manager. Okay? So fully delegating ownership of the project, of the accounts, of whatever it is that you've assigned to this person, and backing away so that they can own the outcome and you're really just a coach. That means that your involvement becomes setting the goal, defining what success looks like, and then backing away to really let them own it, even if it gets messy, right? You've got to be aware, comfortable with them making mistakes if you really want them to learn and grow. Think about your own journey. You made mistakes, you missed things, you failed, and all of that contributes to the awesome founder that you are now, the great leader that you are now. So you've got to allow your team to have that same journey. Let them make mistakes, create space for them to learn. Their progress will not come from you expecting perfection out of them, right? You've got to give them that space to learn together. And then when they make those mistakes, you guys figure it out together and move forward. If you want to grow and scale your business, you've got to allow that space for growth. So I've given you a strategy. What do I want you ultimately, though, to take away from this conversation today as you're processing all the things I've said? I want you to think about it this way. You are a builder. You've built the blueprint for your business, right? You've written out the plan and you've laid the foundation. And you've hired your team to build that building. Let them lay the bricks. Let them create and be a part of the team as a team. You've hired them for a reason. They're smart, they're capable, they're talented. Let them prove that to you by giving them the space to own the work that you've assigned. If this resonated with you and you're watching this on YouTube, jump in the comments and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Also, feel free to share this video with anyone that you know is carrying way more than they have to. Follow me on LinkedIn. My profile link is in the show notes. And until then, build trust and results will follow.